What's going on, everybody? This is our Week 8 review. I'm Glenn Stout. This is DAMIEN HUNTE. We got a great show for you guys tonight. We're coming live from the Coral Springs Brews Room. We are NCRA Sports Network.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports. NCRA Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout, and this is NCRA Sports Network. We're coming live from the Coral Springs Brews Room. We're glad you guys could tune in out there on ncrasportsnetwork.com. We hope you guys are watching on Facebook with the link, and we got a great show for you guys tonight. How's it going, Damien?
I'm doing good, man. I'm having fun right now. Having lots of fun.
Some of you might recognize that voice. This is Coach DAMIEN HUNTE. He's part of the NCRA Sports Network. And if you recognize that voice, he's been doing a lot of the Friday night games and been doing a lot of the broadcasting. We look forward to working more with him and look forward to seeing him on more of the shows on Wednesdays.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the cream of the crop, right? In Broward County and actually in South Florida. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I just feel like I'm right back home. I get a chance to talk football, something that I know a lot about. And we're going to have a good time. And definitely tonight we have a great lineup coming up, especially with the two teams, the two games that we followed this week. Boyd Anderson versus Miramar, and also Deerfield versus Ely, which is a rivalry that's been going on for years. So I'm looking forward to it and having a great time in doing it.
We look forward to bringing that to you. As Coach said, we have two highlighted games from last week. The BA game versus Miramar and Deerfield Beach versus Ely. We're going to go in-depth with footage from both of those games, and we're going to break down the films for you. And we actually have interviews with players from Boyd Anderson High School and from Deerfield Beach High School. So it's going to be a great show. We look forward to keeping it going with you. We hope you guys are watching at home. We got a great crowd out here tonight. Again, we are at the Coral Springs Brews Room. And we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to break down our first game of the night, BA versus Miramar. Stay tuned.
Down the Brews Room, great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste, you found the right place. Come on down the Brews Room, great taste is just the beginning.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports. NCRA Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout, and this is DAMIEN HUNTE, and we are NCRA Sports Network. We hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. And first things first, we're going to get into our first highlighted game of the night, which was BA against Miramar High School. BA is 4-2 on the season. Miramar is 3-4 on the season. Coach Hunt, you were actually at the game. You were broadcasting live. Why don't you give us a little insight on that game?
Well, this was a game that you're looking at Miramar having come off a big defeat against St. Thomas Aquinas. And it was actually looking to be one of those games where Boyd Anderson probably would have taken an L in most cases. But basically what happened is that BA actually took it to Miramar. In every phase of the game. One particular young man, Mr. 55, Daryl Young, he was all over the field, playing center, playing D lineman, playing linebacker. These type of things where you had to throw the records out and just play nose-on-nose football. BA got up early, and Miramar never recovered from it.
Some people might say that that bye week that BA had after the Coral Glades game, it really helped them out a lot. Normally, from what they've seen from BA throughout the season, is the first few quarters of the game, especially the first quarter, they were coming out really flat. And this game, they played 48 minutes. And what we want to emphasize, we usually show a lot of the offensive players. Today is going to have a lot of defensive players because these 2 games that we recorded, they were very defensive oriented, a lot of defensive players. And the final score of that game was 13-6 BA. We're going to go into the highlight film now, and me and Coach Hunt are going to break it down for you guys, so stay tuned. As we said, Coach Hunt, BA came out, and they were looking to make a statement early.
They were, Coach. You're looking at right now the defense really taking attack. Miramar actually came out pretty crisp. They were coming in, various formations. They were going to the eye. They were going to the spread. I think I even saw a cross buck here and there. Here you see the shuffle, the little shuffle pass there. And number 10 was all over it. The defense of Boyd Anderson was stout, and they were effective. And, the line gave the quarterback all the time. There you see, I believe that's number 6, Derek Tyndall, intercepting the ball, went 20 yards backwards, but nonetheless, it was a turnover, and Boyd Anderson just really took it to Miramar.
It seemed like they were really getting underneath the quarterback's skin, kind of frustrating him, and it didn't seem like they had to blitz too often. They could go with their front 4 and cause some havoc back there without having to drop a bunch of guys into coverage.
If memory serves me correctly, I'm looking at possibly Boyd Anderson. I think they blitzed maybe 3 or 4 times the entire night.
There they go again.
They just had no answer for number 55, Daryl Young. Again, the young man was playing. I think your father and I called his name the entire night, and it was just something that you could not. There was nothing that you could escape. 55 was coming off the edge. He was coming up the middle. He was coming. There was times where
the tip ball there.
There you go. I don't even think there was one time that he wasn't on the field, and we still called his name. Absolutely ravenous.
2 plays in a row. See?
Ravenous. And this kid is one of the most humble kid. He's here. He's actually here in studio right now, and I think he probably said 2 words. Very humble kid, but very fast and agile. He was all over the field.
Look how the team swarms to the ball. Almost every play, we got at least 4 or 5 helmets following the ball, making sure they can clean up the tackle. A lot of times in high school sports, especially in high school football, a lot of kids, they don't all attack the ball, and that's what we like to see.
Right here, and you see Grandison actually get the ball up, and this is the first touchdown of the night. And you're looking at legitimately everything just working well for Boyd Anderson. Henderson got the ball out of his hands. He ran. He did everything right. And here it is, that defense just stouting. They're killing Miramar.
Now we want to make sure people at home realize this Miramar team isn't a slouch.
Absolutely not.
They're a nationally ranked team. They've played big games, as everybody knows that they made it deep in the playoffs last season, and BA came to play.
Absolutely. What you got to take into consideration before this game, you got to realize actually before the St. Thomas game, they were ranked 81st in the state. They jumped from 81st to 42nd after beating St. Thomas. So that just goes to show you when you beat an elite program like St. Thomas, the effect that it has. But at the same time, you got to look at this number 18. He's running all over the field. Great downfield blocking. That was something that I know Coach Blair talks to his receivers about a lot. And I'm an ex-receiver coach, and I'm telling my receivers, if you cannot block downfield, you cannot play for me. And BA did a great job. And again, they're at number 55. He was all over the place. He reminded me of another 55, Mr. Derek Brooks, formerly of Tampa Bay and Florida State. One of my favorite teams. And he was all over the place. And again, after the game, it was like as if he was so fresh. He had much more. He could have played another 2 games afterwards. He was that fresh.
Now, Coach, we want to make sure we understood what you said correctly. You said 42nd, not only in the state. You mean 42nd in the country.
42nd in the country, correct. And so you're looking at, again, this is no slouch. You got to realize what does Miramar breed? Miramar breeds a Geno Smith. That's a Heisman Trophy candidate. They have Bailey. They actually breed athletes at Miramar. And if Geno's little brother is the wide receiver there, and he got in. He got a couple of plays, but Boyd Anderson was not having it, and they were having a great time in swarming and pretty much beating up Miramar's offensive line. And number 55 he was all over the place that night.
Folks, when he says Geno, maybe some of you don't realize that, that's the Heisman Trophy candidate, Geno Smith, the quarterback for West Virginia, Miramar graduate. They breed players there. And as you can see, the way BA came out and played, BA can play with anybody in the country. And we look forward to seeing what else BA has to offer for the rest of the season. We know they have a slow start in a few games. We know Miramar's going to bounce back. This game isn't going to affect them. They know how to answer back. They know how to play games. And we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get our first interview of the night. Number 55, the ball hawk that you guys saw over that field, all over that camera. And we're going to bring you guys an in-depth interview. So make sure you guys stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports. NCRA Sports Network. You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports. NCRA Sports Network.
There are over 1,800 colleges and universities in the nation. There are over 10 million high school student athletes that graduate each year. Only 0.08% of these student athletes that graduate receive full scholarships.
We're here, we got your back.
And you can go back and get your college degree and come back and help us, man.
It all started with a dream. And now it's up to us to keep it alive.
If you're sitting out there and you're wondering, you have to start that process.
Education comes first. You never know what the future holds.
Gave me a better opportunity to make it in life. Live your dreams.
How far are you willing to go?
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout. This is DAMIEN Hunt, and we are here with Daryl Young, number 55 of BA. We hope you all have enjoyed the show so far. We are NCRA Sports Network. We just broke down the game film from BA and Miramar, and you guys saw a lot of number 55 out there, and we're really proud of him, and we're really proud of the game he had, and we're going to ask him some questions about the game. So go ahead, Coach.
All right, 55. I mean, we see that you're legitimately all over the field. What is the one thing that Coach Blair and your coaches have always told you, especially with a big game and dealing with going against a powerhouse like Miramar High School?
Don't leave doubt. Always finish each play, go hard every play. Listen and help your teammates.
Is there anything specific leading up to the game Did you feel anything different about this game than any other game? Or were you just in the zone? You just were getting by the blockers? Tell us what you were doing, man. You were all over the field.
This game, the coaches told us not to be scared because they expected us to be scared because it's Miramar. They just beat St. Thomas. But me, I wasn't scared, and I let that know on the field.
One thing that I noticed, I mean, because I've seen you at a few camps, you're lightning quick. And, of course, you know, I think they have you listed at around 6'1", 6'2", around 205, 210. What do you think is one of your best positions that you play on the football field? I saw you playing center. I saw you down in the trenches at the 3 technique. I saw you bump to the outside. What do you feel most comfortable doing?
I like the rush. I like to be on the quarterback blind side.
There you go.
You like your hand off the ground, coming off the edge.
Yes, I like it like that.
And, folks, you heard that. He plays center, too.
Absolutely. Yes. And one thing that I was really surprised, I guess, and actually knowing that being as small as far as your frame is,
yes,
how you would never let the offensive linemen get their hands on you. You fought off, you did rip moves, you did swim moves.
Yes.
I mean, you were doing moves that I don't even see on the collegiate or even sometimes on the pro level.
Yes.
So what type of things, and I know that your position coach is Coach Dan Camacho, what type of things do you guys go over in practice that helps you get around these big, and some very agile linemen that once they get their hands on you, they lock off? What type of things do you do during practice?
Well, we do karate, we do hand movements, we do don't let them reach you, because if you get reached, you're done. Don't let them get their hands inside, because you're done again. And basically, I just don't let them touch me. I don't want nobody touching me. I like to be free.
So you're saying you didn't learn that stuff from playing Madden and NCRA?
Nah, none of that.
All right. Now, everybody knows what NCRA Sports Network and KDA is all about. Why don't you give us a little insight about being a student athlete? What do your grades look like?
My grades, I got good grades. 2.7 GPA, 24 on the ACT. Work hard in school, that's all I'm going to tell you. Work hard in school and study, and you'll do good.
Now, let's push forward right now. You're a senior, correct?
Yes.
Are there any schools that are looking at you, or are there any schools that you have interest in? Have you gotten any letters or anything of that nature just yet?
Yes. Wake Forest, Miami.
So what you're saying is you're a hot commodity.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? I look forward to seeing you on a Saturday. I don't know exactly where you're going to be. I mean, I didn't hear you mention Florida State, so that's fine. And but my thing is that, again, it's all about making sure that first of all, you understand that you're a student first. You're a student athlete, not athlete student.
Yes.
And it's very great that you have Board Anderson, Coach Blair, and all the other coaches are doing a great job. And I see that your parents are supportive as well. So you're doing a great job, man. And I would say continue to do it, man. And continue to keep grinding off the field and on the field.
Thank you.
And I think that you're going to be doing some big things, man. I see you doing big things. It's going to be a great time.
Daryl, we're really happy you're part of the NCRA team, and we look forward to seeing what else you have to offer for the rest of the season. We want to see more games like that, so don't make us a fluke. We want to show people at home that this is the Daryl that we want to see, and we want to see you do big things at the next level, too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Daryl. We're going to go to a quick break, and we got a few more BA players for you. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning.
1,500 colleges and universities in the nation. There are over 10 million high school student athletes that graduate each year. Only 0.08% of these student athletes that graduate receive full scholarships.
We're here, we got your back.
And you can go back and get your college degree and come back and help us, man.
It all started with a dream. And now it's up to us to keep it alive.
If you're sitting out there and you're wondering, you have to start that process.
Education comes first. You never know what the future holds.
Gave me a better opportunity to make it in life. Live your dreams.
How far are you willing to go?
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports, NCRA Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout. This is DAMIEN Hunt. We are NCRA Sports Network, coming live from the Coral Springs Brews Room. We've had a great show for you guys so far tonight. We got to break down the first game of the night. We got to interview one of the great players of the BA game. And now, for our pleasure, we get to bring you some more BA players, some more headhunters from that defense. We have number 10, Leonard Powell. You guys might recognize him. We've actually had Leonard on before. And we have number 11, Larry Hill. And these are two outstanding defensive players that showed up for the Miramar game, and we're going to ask them some questions. How's it going, guys?
Going great.
Tell me a little about the game. What made you guys show up for this game against Miramar? Was it because it was a big hyped up game, or was it because you guys were supposed to be scared of them?
Well, I mean, a lot of people talked and said that we might have been scared of them, but I felt like since we had a good week in practice and everything, we came out and executed.
I got a text from the coach, my position coach. He said we were expected to lose. Wow. I think that's what really hyped us up, when they expected us to lose. And that just made our defense clamp down on it.
Now, one thing, I was actually at the game, and I saw the both of you guys all over the field.
Right.
What is the one thing, and I know that you guys play big games as well.
Right.
And I think a lot of people tend to overlook that because it's a powerhouse, it's Miramar. What is the one thing that each one of you guys bring to your defense? What do you think that you bring, as being number 10? What do you think you bring as being number 11? When a college or even a pro see number 10, they see this, or number 11, they see this. What type of things do you think you bring to your team?
Hungry to make the play, fast. I try to be around every play.
Okay.
Try to be on every play that get on, every play we can. Just work hard, get to the play as fast as we can, because we undersized on the line, but yeah, we beat everybody with speed. So
that's okay. That's what a lot of people don't realize is that the reason why a lot of the SEC teams are winning is because their defensive linemen are as fast as their running backs. It's hard to get on that outside edge when the running back's getting chased by a 300-pound player. And that's what you guys pretty much did against Miramar. I'm not saying you guys are huge, and like you said, you guys are small on the line, but you guys kept that edge. You didn't let them get outside the pocket, and you guys saw Daryl. Daryl was making great plays all game, and from the film, what we saw, you guys were right behind him, ready to clean up, and that's what we like to see out of BA. We like to see out of your defenses. You guys were kind of starting off slow in a few games. We had the Coral Glades game. We saw that. The first quarter, you guys kind of started off slow. So what made this game different? Did you guys just started getting in that backfield and realizing that they weren't as big as you guys are, how fast you guys thought they were going to be?
Yeah, I'll say that because, it all go back to practice. We practiced very hard that week. We worked hard, but we just wanted to beat them. That's it. So.
Also, the first couple of games, we had problems like assignments. Everyone had to do their own job. So I think that's what really helped us this game. Everyone just doing their job.
Now, I asked Daryl the same question. I'm going to ask you guys. What schools are looking at you guys? Because I want to put on notice that if there's a school that needs a linebacker, needs a DN, they don't have to go to Virginia. They don't have to go to Nebraska. They can come to Lauderdale Lakes and look at number 10 and number 11. So what schools are actually looking at you guys right now? And have you committed to anyone just yet? If not, name some of the schools that are looking at you right now.
Right now, I don't believe I have any schools looking at me, but it all comes. I got a good ACT score. My GPA's up, and I'm just hoping to find someone who wants me and willing to give me a full ride.
All right. So basically, anybody that wants you, they're gonna get an animal. They're gonna get somebody that's gonna put on that hard.
Coming to work hard.
Okay. All right. What about you?
You guys hear that at home? This guy, he's hungry. He wants to play. You guys saw from the game film itself.
Not
you guys
really.
saw what he did. What's your GPA?
2.6.
2.6. Okay. That's good. That's a good GPA. What about you, Leonard?
2.8.
2.8. What about your guys' ACT scores?
ACT, I got a 23.
I haven't taken it yet.
You haven't taken it yet?
I got a 1460 on the SAT.
That's excellent. That is great.
That's good, man. And so, any schools looking at you right now? You got any interests?
Academically, I got letters from UM, Indiana, West Florida. I got a couple.
So basically, I want to get this correct because you guys are out of Lauderdale Lakes, okay? And we know that we can consider that an urban area. So basically, what you're telling me and what you're telling everybody here is that there are no dummies because you play football. That's what you're telling, right? So you're not a bunch of jocks that happen to play football. You're student athletes. You're getting it done in the classroom at the same time getting it done on the field. So basically, I want you guys to look into the camera and just let them know. Listen. Tell them, talk to the schools. Sell yourself right now.
School first, man. Classroom come before the football field at all times. Homework come before practice. That's all.
Okay.
Pretty much the same. You got to work hard. School. Have a connection with your teachers.
And leave it all out on the field.
Leave everything out on the field. Don't hold anything back.
We want to let you guys know that NCRA Sports Network, we're here to help you guys out. And this is what we want everybody to know at home, is players like this, we're not going to leave them behind. Keep dreams alive. We won't let you guys go by. We're going to do everything we can to help you guys out. You guys have a lot more games to go. And we look forward to seeing what the VA defense has to offer for the rest of the season. We appreciate you guys coming on, and keep it up. Keep up the hard work. We really appreciate you guys coming on, and we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to break down our second week of the game. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning.
You're You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports, NCRA Sports Network.
First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste, you found the right place. Come on down to Brews Room, great taste is just the beginning.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout. This is DAMIEN Hunt. We are NCRA Sports Network, coming live from Coral Springs Brews Room. This is our Week 8 review. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. We got to bring up some BA players, got to show off their game a little bit. Now we're going to bring up a little regular we've got on the show, Coach Blair. How's it going, Coach?
It's all right, Mr. Stout. Everything is good. Good to see you, Mr. Hunt.
Hey, you too, sir. Thank you. One of the questions I wanted to ask you, Coach, I know that it's been a hard road for you. I know this is your second year at Boyd Anderson. And I must say, I was a coach at Coral Glades High School for a few years, and I saw Boyd Anderson of the old, and also coaching at Deerfield Beach High School, and I see what you're bringing in. Explain to me what's your philosophy as a head coach of Boyd Anderson. What is your philosophy, and how did you have these kids believe in coming from the old regime to now, the Coach Blair regime?
Well, I'm a piggyback off of a good friend of mine, Roger Harriet. He uses the motto of family, tradition, excellence. In our case, it's more family, tradition, and character. We've broken these young men down as far as our expectation levels, as far as what we wanted from them. And now we basically are holding them accountable on a daily basis. And what the end result is, come February, both their parents and themselves will be, probably presenting themselves to a university and signing off. And everybody at that point in time is, happy that they did all the work.
Absolutely.
Coach, I was at the Coral Glades game, and your record shows what you guys have done so far this season. And people might have got the idea that BA gets off to slow starts. Now, I watched this highlight of this last game you guys played against Miramar. Something clicked. This defense looked like a state championship defense out there. I mean, swarming the ball. You didn't even have to send blitzes. Your pressure off your front four was causing havoc for a team that made a lot of noise last year. Can you give us any in-depth of what changed, or is it just that they came to play and they just showed up for the game?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I mean, we had 2 weeks off, and, we broke down just about every game up until that point, and we kind of discussed, how we started out games, and it was, had to do with, practice, flow, the way that guys are, going into things. And, they already know that they're a second-half team. Everybody knows that they're a second-half team. Basically gave us the time to, work on things, work on the format of our practice. And now guys are, have completely just bought into it, and hopefully, we continue to keep doing the same thing down the road.
And I noticed, Coach, that, of course, you guys know that you're going against a powerhouse in Miramar. They are just coming off of a big victory against St. Thomas Aquinas. And what are some of the things that you told those young men in that locker room before the game, or even, with the weeks off? What did you tell them to get them mentally prepared? We know that, a lot of their legs breathe athletes. I mean, we know that you got jackrabbits in that locker room. So what type of things did you tell them as far as intellectually, to get them mentally prepared for this big-time powerhouse Miramar, ex-state championship team? What type of things did you tell them?
I mean, I'll just say it's one of those things. Last year, we took a beat, and I just kept on pumping that into their head. We had the PA system on during the week, and we were playing all different types of music, stuff that they can relate to, just getting them in the mindset that, hey, we're in this, we're ready to get into this, we're ready to do whatever it takes. The main thing, though, was just remember how you felt last year.
And they put on their pads the same way you put on your pads.
Everybody puts on their pads the same way. We knew that they were coming off of a very big win. Damon Cogdell's got a lot of good things going on with that program, but, Boyd Anderson's on the map too.
Now give me a little insight on Mr. Daryl Young. This young man, I don't think I called one person named so much in a game. I wanted to possibly change my name to Daryl Young, figured that I would probably get a little faster. What is your expectation for this particular young man? I mean, he's a special young man because he doesn't really say a whole lot, but his on-field play is bigger than his heart. And I don't know if that was possible, but in looking at tape, he is a beast.
Darrell is one of those guys that, he comes out, he gives our pregame speeches. He's much like Ray Lewis. I wish Ray Lewis was speedy recovery. But he doesn't play the same position. We put Darrell in a position week in, week out to go against things that we may see that team might be giving us, and he's a very instinctive player. I mean, he plays passionately. He plays with, like you said, a guy that has a chip on his shoulder, and I just want to continue to see that, Darrell does those things, and hopefully, some university, college will start taking notice, as to this kid's skill set, because, he's one of those kids that he's playing defensive line right now, but who's to say that he won't be playing linebacker or anything else down the road? He's so instinctive and smart to where he can figure out any position that you put him at.
Sounds good.
With a 24 ACT and a 2.7 GPA, Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation and NCRA Sports Network, we're going to make sure we can find a place for him, Coach.
Appreciate that, no doubt.
This is a whole new season for you guys. I mean, it's like refreshing. We get to see BA. I mean, this season, it's a whole new ball game for you guys, and anything could happen, right?
Well, we got this Monarch team coming up. It's a big district game. As you know, we lost against Northeast earlier on in the year, and now these guys know that, hey, your back's against the wall and you got to come out swinging. We got Monarch, Coconut Creek, Ely still left on the schedule, but we're looking at Monarch right now. The kid Hoggins, good running back over there. They're doing a lot of good things over there at first-year head coach, and, I just want to know, that when we come out on Friday that, the distractions will be eliminated. It's homecoming, all of that stuff for us, but, we want those guys to be fine-tuned and ready for the game.
Well, the way this season's going so far, if we get you back up here, we're probably going to have to get you an NCRA shirt. So we look forward to seeing what BA has to offer for the rest of the season, and it's always a pleasure having you on, Coach.
Pleasure,
and
man. Pleasure.
We wish you guys luck. And we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we will be breaking down our next week's game, the last game, Deerfield Beach High School versus Ely. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
Come on down to Brews Room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Brews Room. Great taste is just the beginning.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports, NCRA Sports Network.
What's going on, everybody? Glenn Stout, Damien Hunt here, NCRA Sports Network. What a great show we've had for you guys so far. We're at the Coral Springs Brews Room, as you can see by this beautiful sign behind us, and we've got a great crowd tonight. We hope you guys have enjoyed the show, NCRASportsNetwork.com, the live broadcast. Some of you guys seeing us off of Facebook, the link, and we just appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate everything. If you need to get in contact with me or with NCRA Sports, you can get in contact with G4 at NCRASportsNetwork.com or Twitter, my hashtag at NCRA Sports, and it's Glenn Stout. Hopefully you guys can check us out if you guys have any questions. That BA game, Miramar game, that was a great game, Coach.
It was a great game. Great victory by Boyd Anderson. As we had Coach Blair up here, a great man of character, and he's actually, making sure that he mainstreams that to the athletes on the field. And I mean, great job. He's doing a great job in turning that program around. Absolutely.
For this next game, it's a little close to your heart, Coach.
Yes.
Some of you may know Coach Damien is a graduate of Deerfield Beach High School.
Absolutely.
So as you can tell, he's happy we're going to be breaking down this part of the film because Deerfield pulled away with that victory.
Yes, I mean this is one of those games you throw away the records. Both teams can be undefeated, or both teams can not have a victory. And you're looking at one of the premier rivalry games. I mean, it's Pompano versus Deerfield. It's Ely versus Deerfield. It's players like, the Crockett boys and Al Harris and, against, Jason Pierre-Paul and Stalker McDougal and Jeremy Kellum. I mean, Brian Powell. I mean, we're going to have his son. Hopefully he comes up, Brendan Powell. This is just an exciting game. And guess what? Every community, Pompano and Deerfield, both look forward for this game.
Number 4, he mentioned it, Brandon Powell. You're going to be seeing him on this highlight tape soon. Deerfield Beach came away with that win. They won 19-0, and they had 300 rushing yards.
Absolutely.
2 separate running backs had over 100-yard rushing. Let's check it out. Here come the Bucks.
Absolutely. As we see right here with Ely, play action and interception. And I believe that interception was by Justin Morgan, the freak athlete at 5'10", 172 pounds doing his thing. Ely just couldn't get anything going. They were stagnant. Deerfield defense was holding, they couldn't do anything with them. And it showed that with the 19-0 defeat.
And it's not they have the speed, they got the athletes. It just seemed Deerfield Beach. I mean, there goes Powell right there.
Absolutely phenomenal athlete, much like his father from back in the day. But right now he wants to carve his own history. And you see him going off left. And, I mean, once he's in the open field, you see that he's getting 10, 15, sometimes 20 yards a pop. They couldn't do anything with him.
It's beautiful to see that, too, because it seems like he's a one-cut guy. And that's what they're looking for at that next level. Stick his foot in the ground and get north and south.
Absolutely. And Brandon played pretty much everything on the field. I mean, he played running back. He played middle quarterback at the beginning. He played, DB. I mean, he had a pass deflection. You're looking at him having legitimately over 180 yards rushing. He had 2 pass deflections. He almost had an interception. I mean, he was legitimately all over the field. I mean, that's what you want out of your athlete.
And, folks, this isn't a cream puff game they're playing against. Ely's got some players, and they came to play. Deerfield Beach didn't have an easy time winning this game. This was definitely a hard-fought game, and they got athletes on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. You're talking about a dead-out sprint for both games, and the kids were, they were having fun. They were loose, and here you go with the defensive end on the right side coming in, getting riled up. And again, this is the game. The game pretty much was sold out, and it was a great time and having a great time and watching my alma mater do their thing. Here is Mr. Powell right now, cutting it upfield and getting like 25 yards a pop. It really became a headache.
I love seeing that old wishbone too.
Oh, I mean, I felt like legitimately I can go ahead and put on my Pop Warner football uniform and go out there and play a little bit. I think I remember some of the plays. And the beautiful thing is that Coach Jackson, which was a DB coach when I was at Deerfield High. I played wide receiver, but he was one of the coaches there. Now he's the head coach. So the very fact that he came back home, beautiful thing.
2 contrasting styles. You can definitely see Ely comes out with the spread, trying to work the edges, get 5 wide, get the quarterback out in the open field to where he can make plays with his feet. Deerfield more the traditional way, going with the wishbone, a little bit of veer, a little bit of counter, trap, run plays, and definitely two conflicting styles.
Definitely, and I tell you one thing, Deerfield used their speed wisely, and they went after the quarterback. They were bombarded their line. The line had no answer for the defensive line of Deerfield.
Yeah, folks, you see number 4 down there at the bottom of the screen about to make this tackle. That's Powell too. He plays the defensive side of the ball too.
Absolutely, and again, this was a fun game to commentate, not just because it's my alma mater, but you're looking at, there you saw that, Brandon couldn't get off off the line there, but Ely, they tried their best, and we're looking at right now, Ely, I think right now is after this defeat was 4-2, and Deerfield is now, I believe, 2-3. So
look at the cutback.
Yeah, phenomenal. He stops on a dime, he moves fluid. Looks real nice.
Trap play right up the middle, fullback following his fullback up the middle of the field.
Woo. Yep, little
hops right back up.
Little
too.
Reggie
that was a
Bush
good tackle, though.
A little Reggie Bush type jump over your player, get an extra yards. That's what you do when you try to fight for yards.
And Ely didn't quit either. That's what we like to see. Ely didn't give up. They fought for 4 quarters. They didn't come away with the victory, but they definitely took runs up the middle, and they didn't quit.
Absolutely not, Coach. Whatever Brandon. The great thing is that with Deerfield, they actually have a really, really young team. Brandon has 1 more year. That's a beautiful thing. We can't forget about Mr. Bone, who was the other running back, McNeil, that also had 114 yards and 1 touchdown off 25 carries. He did his thing as well. All over the field, Deerfield has athletes, and I really don't think they really see exactly how talented they are. But I tell you one thing, it's coming, and they're gelling real nicely together right now.
Anytime you can hold a team to 0 points, that goose egg, you know you had a great game. And like we said before, look at this reception. Look at him cut back.
Yeah,
this was definitely one of the plays where we said, what is going on in
Yeah,
this game? He fumbles the ball, turns back around, fumbles it again, and then Ely ends up recovering the football.
Yeah, that interception was by the freak of nature, Justin Morgan again, and he tried to do a little bit too much and lost control of the ball, didn't protect the ball the way he thought he could, and then went the opposite way.
Sweep.
Yeah, there he goes.
Just ground and pound. That's what we love to see.
That's what it's about, and that was Aaron Bone McNeil, who had the other 100 yards, and he's moving. Both of these guys, you look at them, they don't look that big, but they're powerful. And Bone was running that ball as if he was mad. There you go, cuts it inside, and right now he's taking it to the house.
And they just wear down a defense. They just keep running it, wear down that defense, and make them tired.
Well, Glenn, if you can't stop it, why stop? Why stop your play calling? And right there you see them celebrating. They douse Coach Jackson with the Gatorade, and 19-0 was the score, and that's it.
Whenever you can win a rivalry game like that, you can't complain. We know Ely is going to bounce back. Ely's a great football team.
Absolutely.
Deerfield Beach is a great football team. I believe Deerfield Beach is 2-3 on the season.
They are 2-3 on this season.
And Ely's 4-2 on the season. So
absolutely,
they've got plenty of room. Both these teams can still make a lot of noise for the rest of the season.
Both teams are very young, and we're looking for a lot of things to happen between the both of them. I wish they'd be able to play each other in the playoffs. That would be even better.
We would love to see that.
You can play them 3-4 times a year.
We would love to see that rematch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like we told everybody, this was a very heavily defensive played game, just like the BA game before. You don't normally see that a lot in high school football. You see a lot of spread out, a lot of spread the ball, a lot of high scoring games. A lot of kids on the offensive side of the ball playing defensive side of the ball, so they're tired. They let a lot of teams score, but we had the privilege to have 2 games this past week, and they were both traditional smash mouth football. You got to see 2 teams put it all out there on the field.
And that is what Florida football is about. That is what high school football is about. And one of the great things that NCRA is doing with these athletes is putting them out there when they most likely would not have any form of limelight. So kudos to NCRA, kudos to KDA Foundation. You guys are doing a great job. And I tell you right now, I'm very proud that you were able to bring in Deerfield Beach and and shed a little light. Jason Pierre-Paul, Stockham McDougal, those are 2 players that made it. Jeremy Kellen, that's playing in UFL. What's going on, JK? You're doing big things, and I'm telling you right now, what you guys are doing, this is phenomenal. And you're only going to get better, especially dealing with these young men and giving them some form of a spotlight.
Absolutely. We hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. I know we're flooding you with a lot of information. Remember, if you guys want to get in contact with us, G4 at NCRASportsNetwork.com. We are at the Coral Springs Brews Room. It's been a great show so far. We're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to bring back some Deerfield Beach players. Brandon Powell, number 4, the running back you saw on the tape, and number 22, Anthony A-Train Thompson. Stay tuned.
Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning.
There are over 1,800 colleges and universities in the nation. There are over 10 million high school student athletes that graduate each year. Only 0.08% of these student athletes that graduate receive full scholarships.
We're here, we got your back.
And you can go back and get your college degree and come back and help us, man.
It all started with a dream. And now it's up to us to keep it alive.
If you're sitting out there and you're wondering, you have to start that process.
Education comes first. You never know what the future holds.
Gave me a better opportunity to make it in life. Live your dreams.
How far are you willing to go?
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout. This is Damien Hunt. We are NCRA Sports Network. We got 2 young men here from Deerfield Beach High School. We're really proud to interview both these guys after a 19-0 victory. Coach Hunt, why don't you give us a little insight on these kids?
Right now we have number 4, Mr. Brandon Do Everything All Day, All Night Powell. And we actually have Mr. Aaron Everything All the Time Bone McNeil, number 2. And my first question is going to go to Brandon. How did it feel? I'm a Deerfield alumni. I know what the rivalry is. How did it feel to spank Ely the way that you guys did?
It feel like we just won a state championship because the whole county, everybody in Deerfield, everybody around was at the game to watch us, and we got to shut up.
Excellent. Bone, now, I don't know that much about you, but I've been following you for a little bit. How did it feel for you to beat Ely, to beat? I mean, because some of these kids, you guys have played. If they played for the Cowboys or the Chiefs, you played for the Raiders or the Rattlers or whatever the case may be. How did it feel for you to beat Ely?
To me, it was a big win. I felt good inside. It was a lot of crowd, big crowd. Everybody's watching you, so make the best of it.
Okay. Now, I noticed that for the both of you guys, they actually have you guys listed as athletes. Now, one question I'd like to ask you, Brandon, what schools are looking at you right now? I know you can't name them all because you probably got like a whole file cabinet full of letters, but name just a few schools that are looking at you right now.
Florida State, Florida, UCF, Louisville, and West Virginia.
Okay, and Bone?
In Kentucky, South Alabama right now.
Okay, good.
What are those grades looking like, fellas?
I got a 4.1.
4.1.
Yeah.
Let me make sure you guys heard that. 4.1 GPA.
I have a 3.2.
3.2. See, that's beautiful. When we get athletes like that, they sell themselves. We don't have to be here. You guys see it on the game film. You guys see it in the grades. You guys are a big 1-2 punch. You guys take pride in that. You guys run the ball hard. What's something about you want other teams to realize when you guys come out on the field that you guys are going to be running hard?
They better stack the box because every play we coming at them.
Like the run.
Good. Now, I've known your family for a while. Okay. Your father was also number 4. And he was a beast of a receiver. He sort of played a little bit of everything. Explain to me the type of things that he sort of tutored you under his tutelage. What type of things have you learned by watching maybe some of his old videos and so on and so forth? What type of things have you learned from your father growing up in the city of Deerfield, playing at Deerfield High? What type of things have you learned from him?
I learned that playing at Deerfield, you can't be scared to play because, you know, everybody in Deerfield is depending on you to get the W's every week. So I learned, he taught me how to run my routes good, how to be a good running back. Don't be scared of contact, just play out there with your heart, play like you want to go somewhere.
All right, and Bone, another question I have. I mean, you had a 3.2 GPA. That just goes to show you're not you're not just some jock, on the street. Explain, if you had a young man, a little younger than you, coming in the Pop Warner, maybe he plays on the 105 or the 120 or whatever. What type of advice would you give that young person, that may not understand that school is important? What type of advice would you give them?
First off, your grades are first, and you got to just make it out to be somebody. You got to keep your head focused and work 2 times hard than the other person. And just keep your head focused and on the right track.
Okay. What do you guys have planned for the rest of the season? That's what I want to know. What should we expect to see out of Deerfield Beach High School for the rest of the season?
Football.
Yeah, buck football.
Plain and simple.
I got to put it out there, Glenn, because I know you guys are better than the 2 and 3 that you are. I also think, and I think some of your coaches, Coach Jackson, that I love the guy. He was one of my coaches when I went to Deerfield High. But now, explain to me how you guys are going to turn this season around, because you got to string some victories together. What type of things do you think that you need to work on, Brandon, and you need to work on in order to make sure that that Deerfield does make it to the next level and not just to the end of the season and everybody goes home and and get a little letter at the end of the season? What type of things you need to work on and then you need to work on?
Well, I think I need to stay in the weight room every day because we're taking pounding every play, running and blocking. So I need to keep my body built and get stronger. And I also need to get faster because I see that a lot of times that I'm breaking out, people coming from an angle, good angle, catching me. And most colleges, when they see that, they want you to break away from those type of tackles. So that's what I need to work on.
So me, weight room, weight room every day. Speed-wise, have to work on speed, picking my legs up, and having better vision, and having better endurance and cuts and better cuts and everything else.
Coach, I think I got it figured out. After watching the highlight tape and listening to these guys talk, I can honestly say I can compare them to the high school version of Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown, Auburn
You took
style.
the words right out of my mouth. I was actually just thinking that this is a nice 1-2 punch, because the truth of the matter is you can go ahead and try to stack the box, but if you don't have no speed, it really doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, both of you guys are fast. Both of you guys are running legit 4.4, 4.3 40s. And I saw you at the Florida State camp. That was, they went crazy over that. And I've been watching you do your thing as well. The one thing that I want you guys to really take into consideration is how much football you guys have left. Okay, you're in what year? You're in
junior.
You're a junior. So both of you guys are juniors.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem. So now on the next level, what positions do you see yourself playing? Because both of you guys are listed as athletes. So what position you guys see yourself playing on the next level?
Right now, most colleges saying they want me to play cornerback. So I guess I'll have to work on my cover skills and man technique all over the summer to get prepared for whatever the college put me at.
Okay, well,
same with me, cornerback and a little bit of slot. I just have to work hard and just working them.
Okay, excellent.
Guys, we look forward to seeing what the rest of you guys have to offer for the rest of the season. We enjoyed having you guys on. We love breaking down your film. Me and Coach Damien were breaking down your film before the show started, and we were just talking about how amazing you guys look. You guys are only juniors, and we're excited to be able to have you guys back, not only this season, but next season to bring you guys in. And we appreciate you guys coming on. Those are some of the players from Deerfield Beach High School. We've had a great show so far. We're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to come back with one of the coaches from Deerfield Beach High School. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
All right.
There are over 1,800 colleges and universities in the nation. There are over 10 million high school student athletes that graduate each year. Only 0.08% of these student athletes that graduate receive full scholarships.
here, we got your back.
And you can go back and get your college degree and come back and help us, man.
It all started with a dream. And now it's up to us to keep it alive.
If you're sitting out there and you're wondering, you have to start that process.
Education comes first. You never know what the future holds.
Gave me a better opportunity to make it in life. Live your dreams.
How far are you willing to go?
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports, NCRA Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout. This is DAMIEN Hunt. We are NCRA Sports Network. We hope you guys have stayed tuned so far. We hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. It's been a great night. Great night for high school football. We've had 2 great clips, a lot of great interviews with some kids. We were at the Coral Springs Brews Room in Coral Springs, Florida. We got a great turnout tonight. And Coach, why don't you give us a little insight on who we got here with us tonight?
Well, right now we have the head coach of Deerfield Beach High School, Mr. Coach Alan Jackson. Always a pleasure to see you again. Just to give you a bit of an insight, Coach Jay was actually the DB coach when I was at Deerfield Beach High School in '97, and great man of character. I mean, this is the most consistent man in character that you're going to find. So the very fact that last year when they said, we're bringing in Alan Jackson, I was well pleased because I'm like, you know what, he's coming back home. He's coming back home. So my first question to you is, how does it feel to be back home, Coach?
Well, I mean, it was a blessing in disguise, and it was a great feeling to see the old kids back there, and just see the school itself, the community, and the people around that I coached and that I got to see grow up and everything. It was truly a humbling experience for me as a person, because I've always wanted to be at Deerfield. Deerfield was like a home to me. I felt like that Deerfield was the place that I learned how to truly be a coach. And I was ecstatic when I got the job, very ecstatic.
One thing that I'm noticing, Coach, is that, I know in speaking to you, last year was a bit of a disappointing season for you. Mm-hmm. This year, I think the young men that you're coaching, they're really starting to get into their own. And I made a statement to both Aaron and Brandon that I don't think they really understand how good they really are until they beat up on Ely. And of course, we all know how beautiful of a feeling that is.
Yes.
Buck Pride. And my thing is that to you, what did it mean to you to beat Ely on Saturday night?
Well, I come to find out that we haven't beaten Ely since 2009.
Wow.
And that was it was like a humbling experience to be able to get that win as a head coach. Something that, that when I got the job, I wanted to bring back the old Buck pride, as you know.
Right.
How the feeling that felt like. And I wanted to instill that into the kids, let them know what true Buck pride was all about. And beating Ely, because I remember back in the days when we used to play Ely, it was always a battle.
Right.
And just to get to that point, that pinnacle, just to beat Ely like that, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was like a weight off my shoulders. And the kids really felt good. And I really enjoyed the kids being happy. That's what I wanted to see most. I want them to see them be successful, knowing that they're good, knowing that they can get over the hump. They've been down for so long. I just wanted to get them over the hump and have something they can really hang their hat on.
Coach, it's well documented in the NFL, college. A lot of great athletes have been through Deerfield Beach High School. how do you keep these kids humble and let them know that just because you go to a school that's got big names doesn't mean that you can get a big head. You got to pay attention to every game and take one game at a time.
You know, what I try to instill them is just family. We're all about family. You know, even though we have people out there in the NFL like Jason Pierre-Paul, and we're probably going to have Shoelace and Mike Blanc, all the great ones that went through, even when I was there. But it was like a family. All right, you know, we were touched by each and every one of those guys, and I just try to keep them to stay humble. That family comes first, and that we're a family, man, and also.
And remember where they came from.
Yeah, just remember where you came from. Just remember where you're going, and you know, and the place. You know, just do some of the things that are going to be correct in your life, and you know, just have fun with it. You know, believe in yourself.
One thing that and being, growing up in Deerfield, there, the buzz was, if you pass 2 stop signs, you pretty much ran through Deerfield.
Right.
What do you consider as being the pinnacle moment of your coaching career at Deerfield? I know this is only your 2nd year, and I'll clean up the question a little bit better. For you, being at Deerfield, going from being a head coach at other locations, why Deerfield? Why was Deerfield at the top of your list to come back home to? I mean, of course you're going to have athletes. We know that. There's only one school in Deerfield, technically. Why Deerfield? What made Alan Jackson say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna throw my name in the ring right there?
Well, back when I first got to Deerfield in 1990, I'm telling my age.
Woo!
Yeah, back in 1990, I met a woman there who is now my wife.
I was 3 years old, by the way.
Nice, yes.
Now is my wife, and but the thing about Deerfield is that when I first got to Deerfield, I was greeted as being family with the football, not only with football, just the community, the school itself, and the kids and everything like that. I always felt a connection with them. And everywhere I went, even when I was the head coach at Monarch, I always reflected my days at Deerfield. Even when I went to Creek, I always reflected my days at Deerfield. In Deerfield, I don't know, it's a burning part in my soul. I didn't graduate from there. I never went to school there, but I felt like I was a part of that school itself, a part of that community. And I applied for that job 3 times. And first time I knew I wasn't ready to get it. Second time I said I'll get the experience. Third time I thought I was ready. But as I was saying, my wife was telling me that, sometimes you have to go around the long way to get back to where you were doing. So that's the way I went.
And that's what you want the kids to know. Is
yes.
That it's not ever going to be easy.
Never going to be easy.
They got to work for it.
Exactly.
Like everything in life, they got to work for it. They got to work for it on the field. They got to work for it in the classroom. And we know Deerfield Beach High isn't the same Deerfield Beach High that it shows on the record.
Right.
And we look forward to seeing what you guys have to do for the rest of the season. We know that you guys have great athletes, great coaches, and we look forward to seeing what you guys have to do for the rest of the season. Hopefully take you into the playoffs. And we really appreciate what you do with the kids, and we appreciate you allowing NCRA sports and keeping dreams alive around the program, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. Damien, I appreciate seeing you again as one of the I wouldn't say old, but one of my old players that I used to coach. It really is a humbling experience to see those kind of people come back and try to be a part of what I'm trying to do here.
Absolutely, Coach. And again, I'm a firm believer that that you're going to do well there, and it's already showing. I mean, 19-0 against Ely. I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, me too.
Hope you guys enjoyed that with Coach. We're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to wrap it up for you guys. Make sure you stay tuned.
Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Bruce Room. Great taste is just the beginning.
There are over 1,800 colleges and universities in the nation. There are over 10 million high school student athletes that graduate each year. Only 0.08% of these student athletes that graduate receive full scholarships.
We're here, we got your back.
And you can go back and get your college degree and come back and help us, man.
It all started with a dream. And now it's up to us to keep it alive.
If you're sitting out there and you're wondering, you have to start that process.
Education comes first. You never know what the future holds.
Gave me a better opportunity to make it in life. Live your dreams.
How far are you willing to go?
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Glenn Stout. This is Damien Hunt. We are NCRA Sports Network. What a great show we've had for you tonight. What a great addition to the show. It's awesome having someone else up here to sit with and talk about football, talk about something that they love. I love football. I love high school sports in general. We know Coach does. We've had a great show for you guys so far tonight. Boyd Anderson versus Miramar, Deerfield Beach versus Ely. We got to interview some great student athletes that we hopefully get to see in the future. We got to be at this great place, the Coral Springs Brews Room, and we want to talk a little about this upcoming game this Friday, Coral Springs High School versus South Plantation. Coral Springs is 3-3 on the season, and South Plantation is 6-0. They're unbeaten, and they got a little bit of a player that I'm sure she doesn't want to be talked about that much. She just wants to be known as part of the team.
Absolutely.
Her name's Erin Demiglo, and she's the first female quarterback to ever play in South Florida, Coach.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, she actually completed her first pass. And it was like, I want to say it was like maybe a 2-yard pass, but it was so monumental that, this young lady got an opportunity. She's on ESPN. She's doing good things, and we look for big things to happen to her and for her. And so, hopefully we look at a great game, undefeated South Plant, very good team, very sound team, very disciplined team. We should see what goes on with Coral Springs as well.
We hope you guys stay tuned to that game. That's this Friday night. You'll hear Coach Damien up in the box with Glenn Stout Sr., and we look forward to bringing you guys that game and bringing you games every Friday night from South Florida, some of the best athletes in the country. And we look forward to bringing you our weekly show here at the Coral Springs Brews Room. We hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. We went a little long tonight, but when you got this many good athletes to bring on, sometimes it's okay to go over.
Absolutely.
Coach, we appreciate you coming on tonight.
My pleasure.
We look forward to having you on. And we appreciate you being part of the NCRA and KDA family.
I'm loving every bit of it.
We hope you guys enjoy the show. Remember, if you have any questions, you can email us at g4@ncrasportsnetwork.com or find us at Twitter for NCRA Sports. I'm Glenn Stout. This is Damien Hunt. We are NCRA Sports Network. We'll see you guys next time.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation covering high school sports, NCRA Sports Network.